Well, the weather's heating up here in the Deep South, and Birmingham Legion hoping they're getting hot as well, as they're back home off a fantastic performance out west. But no team in the league is playing better right now than their opponent tonight, Indy 11. Can the Legion cool off a team who hasn't lost in almost 2 months? We'll find out. USL Championship Soccer is next. Good evening from Birmingham, Alabama, the Magic City, and welcome to our coverage of the USL Championship tonight here on this standalone Sunday, featuring Birmingham Legion FC taking on Indy 11. Up here in our broadcast booth at Protective Stadium, glad to have you with us on this Sunday evening, everybody. Alongside Morgan Copes, I'm Blake Gardner, and Morgan, Birmingham Legion starting to find their form here over the last couple of weeks, but arguably no team in the league is playing as well right now as Indy 11.
That's right. They haven't lost since they went and beat Chicago Fire in Chicago 1-0. They have been firing on all cylinders. They're scoring goals. They're keeping people out. They're able to be very proficient in what their chances that they're creating. So it's going to be a tall task for Legion FC tonight, but certainly one that they're up to. 6
straight wins for Indy coming into tonight. If they're going to make it 7, Morgan, it probably starts with another big-time performance from one of the league's best wingbacks in Aiden Stanley.
It absolutely does. And speaking to Coach McCauley earlier this week, he said he's been in top form in attack, but also providing great cover defensively. He's got 7 assists, leads the league, and he's been dropping dimes to a plethora of the teammates from corners and from that left wing. But he's going to be a busy man tonight as he gets forward. He's also going to have to be responsible for helping out and providing cover and some combination of Pasher, Kasim, and Dotson.
Meanwhile, speaking of Birmingham Legion, they've gotten some big-time stops so far this year from their goalkeeper, Matt Van Oekel.
Yeah, he's been really, really good as of late. He's got 3 clean sheets in his last 4 matches. He's going to have to keep out an Indy 11 team that have scored in their last 16 straight USL Championship matches dating back to last season. They scored 14 in their last 5 matches. They are scoring goals at will right now, but if anybody's going to keep him out, it's going to be Matt Van Oekel.
We'll see if MVO is up for another donut tonight here on his home turf. Well, we're closing in on kickoff here in the Magic City. When we come back, we'll take a look at each side starting 11 plus. We'll get the first 45 minutes between Birmingham Legion and Indy 11. That comes your way right after this.
Hey, I'm Chelsea, and a little thing I like about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is I think it's just a perfect combination of ingredients. The pepper jack cheese and that spiciness of the sandwich. It's the right type of spice and the right amount of spice. It's crunchy on the outside, but then really tender on the inside. And then, obviously, the pickles on the bottom are iconic. There are too many things I like about it. I don't know if I can finish the thought.
Real customer paid for their testimonial.
I need to try it first. Yeah. Season tickets on sale now.
Welcome back to our coverage of the USL Championship here tonight. Birmingham Legion and Indy 11. Almost time for kickoff, but first, let's get a look at each side's starting 11s tonight. And Morgan, let's start first with Sean McCauley and Indy 11. The 11 have made just one change.
Certainly, and Chapman Page comes in for O'Brien. We'll probably see D-Space slide over to the middle, but expect to see Blake get forward, Lindley to kind of sit right in front of D-Space, but that left side is going to be dangerous.
And on the other side for Thompson and Birmingham Legion FC, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Certainly, and I look to see, kind of McCartney get wide and Roof kind of spread out a little bit, but Pasher and Kasim are going to end up being up front. Their average starting positions are typically looking like a two-headed Bosner up front, but a great run of results for Legion FC recently. Expect another good outing for them tonight.
Before we get going, let's get a look at our referee tonight. That is Natalie Simon, the Stetson University product, the first African-American woman to earn her FIFA International refereeing badge. She has done a whole host of events this spring, from MLS matches to USL Championship contests to international friendlies and more. On one touchline, Sean McCauley, the first-year head coach of Indy 11. The 51-year-old, a longtime player and Scottish international, a longtime MLS assistant, now getting his time in the head coaching role here for Indy 11. There's Thompson on the other touchline, the sixth-year head coach of Birmingham Legion FC. He and President Jay Heaps have gotten this organization to the playoffs each and every year since inception. Birmingham trying to make sure it stays that way here in 2024. Well, it is a warm one tonight, the warmest day of the year so far in Birmingham. Touched 95 degrees earlier today. And although the sun's starting to set, it's still 91 here at kickoff. Feels like 95 with humidity tacked on. So we'll have some water breaks at times, but we are off and running on this Sunday evening, the first matchup of the year between Birmingham Legion and Indy 11.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. You talk about the heat, and the goalkeeper for Indy is from Alaska, Salt. So he is going to have to get a warm welcome into the Deep South tonight.
Well, Birmingham a bit more accustomed to the heat. In fact, played their last contest in West Texas at El Paso. Came away with a 3-1 result. Birmingham going all black head to toe on this warm summer night. Meanwhile, a more typical red here for Indy 11 and their first attacking movements of the evening. Birmingham some defensive work to do. Guenzani got ahead to that, but couldn't redirect it on frame. Nothing but a goal kick here for the Legion and Matt Van Oekel, and it'll give us a chance to look at our injury reports tonight. Let's start first with the visitors from Indiana. Aiden Quinn, of course, remains out, hasn't been seen yet here in 2024. Tega Koba has a hand injury. He's missing his third straight game tonight, and then Maka King has been out since mid-April, not yet ready to make his return for Indy. Meanwhile, Tyler Pasher has slid in between the lines here. Relatively easy collection off his chest. He's healthy, of course. Who's not? Well, Trevor Spangenberg, Mohamed Sarai not in the 18. Neither is Mikey Lopez, of course, still rehabbing that Achilles. And Matthew Corcoran remains on the injured list as well for Birmingham Legion. Birmingham, like the group they've had here over the last couple of weeks, they've found some rhythm. They've shored up the defensive lines. They've added Derek Dotson on loan from Minnesota, and that's who gets this pass from Kobe Hernandez-Foster.
I think Dotson's going to be a real key player in today's game. Obviously, we talked about Aiden Stanley for Indy 11 getting forward, right, and providing all the assists. But, if Dotson can get forward, if Kasim can get forward and pin Stanley back, it's going to be more difficult for him to get forward and create for his teammates.
Nice punch there from Solt on Alex Cronali's lob into the box. Kavita, the captain for Birmingham, recovers, and the Legion can recycle possession here. It is a veteran back line here for Birmingham, arguably as experienced as you're going to find in the USL Championship between Dotson, Cronali, Kavita, and A.J. Patterson. It's Patterson who's coming off USL Championship Team of the Week nod, along with Tyler Pasher.
That is a very formidable back four for sure. Legion FC have always prided themselves in doing well defensively, and Tom Sona is that classic guy who likes to build from the back and make sure that things are shored up at the back first before focusing too much on the stuff going forward. Generally, his teams do a great job defensively and keep great shape.
Pasher tried to flick that on, but it's an easy collection for Solt, the Indy 11 goalkeeper. To your point, talking to Tom Sohn earlier in the week after training, he said, quote, well, we've taken time, right, to get our defensive shape right. It's been consistent now over a few games. Now we're really pushing the attacking version of what we think this group can be. Goals were slow to come for the Legion at the start of 2024, but a 3-goal explosion last time out against El Paso. Now it's Indy 11 trying to attack, but the offside flag up against Augie Williams.
And I think the good thing about the goals that Legion FC scored last week were quality goals. They weren't just, off of something random. It was something that they built into and were able to create great chances throughout that match.
Matt Van Oekel, the Birmingham goalkeeper, now under a little bit of pressure from Williams, has to get it away with his left foot, and the pressure pays off. Van Oekel can only lob it over the ad boards. It'll be a throw here for Indy 11. Just 4 minutes gone by here at Protective Stadium. About 30% of the turf down below us in the shade, the rest in that scalding heat. Something to watch throughout the night. Aiden Stanley bombing forward for Indy. Got the cross away. Crognali dealt with it. Sent it right over the end line, but there is Aiden Stanley trying to create more danger. He leads to the first corner of the night.
Yeah, and Indy did a great job off of that giveaway from Matt Van Oekel, kicking it out of bounds off the throw and cycled it around the back very quickly. Got it out to the left, got Stanley forward, and that's what Legion FC need to be very wary of, is making sure he's at least got somebody putting pressure on him so he doesn't have a free opportunity to serve a ball in.
Cam Lindley, the Indy captain and Indiana native, who is set to serve in this corner, first of the night. If you haven't gone and read the profile on Cam Lindley on Indy 11's site, go do that. Native of Carmel, Indiana, former UNC Tar Heel. Playing his 3rd season now as a member of Indiana's team, his 2nd consecutive. Lindley has served to the top of the box. Blake takes it on the volley into a crowd. It took a deflection and was sent out of play by Hernandez Foster for an Indy throw.
And Blake caught all of that one. That was something straight off the training ground. You could see that ball was driven perfectly on a straight line from Lindley to Blake, and he caught it cleanly. It just had a lot of traffic to go through.
And Stanley's been a danger man for Indy, but so has Jack Blake. 7 goals. His top 5 in the USL coming into play tonight. Enzo Martinez took a bump. He's down. Indy playing around him. Augie Williams a chance. His shot saved. Matt Van Oekel makes his first stop of the night.
It's exactly what you want as a goalkeeper, right? You want to get that first save in. You want to get into the game, start to feel more comfortable. The more challenging it is, when you make that save, it's even better, right? It just takes your confidence to the next level.
Looks like that took a deflection off of Crognali, but well done by Van Oekel. He had the post covered, and he made sure he didn't concede a corner. His 33rd save of the year there. Mark is top 10 in the USL as well here at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, one thing worth noting, we got wrong at the start of the broadcast. Deespay is playing as the left back, and Chapman Page is slid in the middle.
Callum Chapman Page back into the mix for Indy tonight. The 28-year-old from Nottingham, England, has missed 5 games already this year. Missed a couple in a row before coming off the bench late last time out for Indy and Pittsburgh, but he's healthy enough to give Indy a full 90 here tonight. Or at least that seems to be the plan.
Coach McCauley was talking earlier this week about, him potentially coming back, and, Brian O'Brien stepping in and doing a great job. He got a goal while he was in there and kept that winning streak, or that unbeaten streak, going for Indy 11.
Alex Crognali, the center back, tried to have it go. Instead, it was blocked by his own man, Jake Roof, and here comes Indy. 4 red shirts bombing forward, but a great job by Kasim to get in the way of that pass from Augie Williams.
Yeah, it's a very important intervention there from Kasim, because Indy like to generally play deep and play on the counter, and that was a great opportunity for them to go and do that. Getting a foot on that ball and slowing that attack down was vital.
To your point, in Indy's last contest at Pittsburgh, they had just 31% of possession the entire game, but it didn't matter. They had an early goal on a corner from Josh O'Brien, then they got a goal almost straight off the second half kickoff from Sebastian Guenzati. That was enough to come away from Pittsburgh with 3 points for the 2nd straight year.
Indy have scored 4 goals from set pieces so far this year, all corners, and have all been from the corner on their right side, all whipped in by, guess who?
Aiden Stanley, the man with the dangerous left foot so far this year. Speaking of guys with dangerous left feet, Prosper Kasim tries to thread through Jake Roof. Good defensive work by Stanley. And Dispe trying to clear it out of that deep corner, only as far as Kasim, who lobs it back into the mix. Nobody home there for Birmingham Legion. It'll be an Indy goal kick, and it gives us a chance to look at our keys to the game tonight. Morgan, let's start first with Indy 11. How do they run this winning streak to 7 in a row?
They got to get their big three going. Williams, Blake, and Stanley. We've already seen Blake hit a ball off of a cross. We've seen Stanley get forward, whip a ball in. Williams has been involved as well, so that's a good sign for them. They've got 12 goals and 8 assists between the three of them. And then continued proficiency. The last 3 matches in all competitions, they've been outshot 51-21, but they've scored 7 and only conceded 2. And then for Legion FC, hold the door, right? Legion FC have only conceded 1 in their last 4 matches. They need to keep that going, and then attack, attack, attack. Do not give up. Indy 11 have only kept 1 clean sheet in the USL Championship so far.
Jake Roof was onside, got the cross away. Well done by Lindley to get it away from trouble. Dawson McCartney was there lurking. It'll be a Birmingham throw from just by the flag. Jake Roof has fashioned himself into quite the crafty midfielder here over the last month plus. Looked like he got that cross through the legs of Chapman Page. Good work by Lindley tracking back. There is Jake Roof, the Alabama native. Birmingham throwing back into play, couldn't keep it. Indy trying to work quickly back the other direction. Douglas Martinez on the run, waiting for a little bit of support. He's got some from Guinzotti. Martinez on the run. Kavita shields it away from him. Well done from the Birmingham captain.
That's fantastic defending from Kavita. Knew it was coming as soon as that ball was played into the middle. Knew it was a 1-2. Gets good position, reads the play well, then makes sure he just shepherds it out of bounds. Looks like it may have actually gotten a touch off of him at the end there.
31-year-old and former Clemson Tiger, Fanuel Kavita, has been a stalwart and a consistent presence for Birmingham Legion since coming over to the Three Sparks. Birmingham back on the ball here. Jake Roof working with Kobe Hernandez-Foster and Enzo Martinez in midfield.
You can see as Indy lose the ball, they are dropping to 5 across the back, right? And Stanley is having to drop back even further because you've got Roof and Dotson that are both bombing down that right wing for Legion FC. So the deeper you can keep him, the better.
Good defending there by Dispe. Took it off of Tyler Pasher. I think El Paso defenders saw Tyler Pasher in their nightmares after that game last weekend. Canadian was all over the back 3 or 4 of El Paso. He was also a Team of the Week honoree. Had a couple of key passes, had a banger of a goal that was up for USL Goal of the Week. Be a throw here. Actually, check that. It'll be a free kick here for Indy 11 and Cam Lindley, making sure everybody's organized before he gets it back in play. 11+ minutes gone, scoreless so far between Birmingham Legion and Indy 11. Birmingham wouldn't mind a scoreless stint here to start the day. Legion have been a slow starting team for most of the year. Just 3 first-half goals so far for Birmingham. That is the lowest mark of any team in the USL Championship this year. Contrast that with Indy 11, who have scored 14 times the first 45 minutes of games this year. Only Charleston Battery have scored more. Charleston scored 16 first 45-minute goals. So the longer Birmingham keep this on level terms, the better they're going to feel about themselves. Chapman Page works with the Cuban defender Dispe. Mikey Williams trying to hold it up, went to ground. Free kick conceded by Cronali. Mikey Williams stayed down. Indy 11 decide to play around their teammate. Ball back in play. That is well done from Stanley. Almost weaved around 2 defenders. He and Jack Blake working on the left side for Indy. Cycles through the Indy back line. Dispe, Chapman Page. Bit of Famu, the back 3 tonight for Indy. Sean McCauley wants his team to look a little bit better on the ball tonight. So far, so good. So that serve is over the top of the bar. And Matt Van Oak will have a goal kick here. That serve here from Jack Blake just hung up a little too much.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was going for goal, trying to catch Matt Van Oekel out, or if that was supposed to be a cross and he just didn't get his foot around it.
Birmingham will play that goal kick short. Crognale to his goalkeeper. Lobbed in the direction of Dawson McCartney, but too tall for him. Another throw for Indy, more possession here for Indy 11. Sean McCauley said during the week, wish we could have played with the ball a little bit more against Pittsburgh, but hard to argue with the defensive shape that they had. He said we didn't get pulled out of shape too much. Yeah, we absorbed some pressure. There were some melees around goal a time or two. Pittsburgh squeezed off, I think, over 20 shots in that game, but not a ton of high-quality looks. And again, Indy 11 able to run that winning streak to 6 straight, 10 straight unbeaten across all competitions for Indy. Hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the USL Championship coming into the weekend. Lindley trying to thread it through to Martinez. Kavita again trying to shield him off and does so again successfully.
Yeah, again, that's great defending, and that's the defending you expect to see for somebody who's been around the league for so long, playing at such a high level. Just very well done for him. You talk about how hot Indy have been. They are the only team in USL Championship that have won their last 5.
Goal kick here for Matt Van Oekel in Birmingham, again played short. Thanks for watching our USL Championship coverage tonight on ESPN Plus, here locally on My 68, or listening on Sirius XM FC. Glad to have everybody with us tonight as Tyler Pasher starts weaving through defenders. Got around one man, keeps the move going here for Birmingham. Kobe Hernandez Foster with space. Wide option in Dotson, a first-time serve laid off. Jake Roof didn't have a go, instead kept the move going. Kasim chips it towards the top of the box, too tall for McCartney. That's how the attack fizzles out for the Legion. Lindley trying to go down the line to Martinez. Was he onside? If he was, this could be trouble. Martinez cuts it back. Williams 1v1 against Crognale, shoots, too tall. Augie Williams, a dangerous attacking threat. Just couldn't make the most of that shot off his left foot that time.
Hard to tell if he was onside or not, but certainly some questions from Legion FC's defenders. But that's where Legion FC need to be careful. As they give the ball away, Indy is going to try and break, and they're going to break at speed.
5 goals for Augie Williams, the Sierra Leone international. Came over to this Indy 11 project from Charleston Battery. He has been scoring goals in bunches as of late. 5 goals on the year, but 4 of those have come in the last 6 games. He assisted the game-winning goal Sebastian Guenzati put away last time out against Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Patterson working with Enzo Martinez around midfield for the Legion. Fans of the USL on ESPN2 kicks off the summer with a League One showdown as Forward Madison FC take on South Georgia Tormenta FC. That's Saturday, June 15th at 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central Time on ESPN2. Kasim finds Pasher in a crowd, but it was too hard for him to keep close. Lindley took it away. Was he bumped from behind? Referee says no. Good tackle there from Jake Roof. He wins it back for Birmingham. Pasher back on it. Pasher around one man. Still Tyler Pasher into the area. Lost it at the very last. It was excellent footwork and a crowd from Pasher. He couldn't squeeze it off his toe in time.
That was a great job from Crognale just to make Williams play backwards, because looks like Guenzati had broken down that left side for Indy. But that's one of those things you don't see on a stat sheet. But if you're a young center back, or you're listening at home, or you're a center back playing this game, you know how hard it is to get players to make sure that they play backwards sometimes, and how important that is to your team's success overall as you're trying to defend a counterattack.
Birmingham have the defensive lines organized again. Callum Chapman-Page is going to go forward here, enjoying a nice little stroll. Gets it to the feet of Augie Williams. Chapman-Page going to stay forward for a moment. Jack Blake working on this right side with Ben Mines. He's had a quiet start to the night. Mines now working back centrally. Quinzani has Aiden Stanley out wide. Stanley a first-time serve. Easy catch there for Van Oekel.
Didn't quite get his foot around that one enough, but you can see what they're looking to do. Stanley's not a guy, he's not going to take a ton of touches. He's going to get the ball, he's going to prep it, and he's going to serve it. And that's what he's going to try and do, and his teammates are starting to get to know him better and know that that's what his main objective is, his MO is. And so it makes it so much easier if you're Augie Williams or your Martinez, who are trying to get on the end of these, when you know what your teammate is going to do.
Hold up play there from Dawson McCartney. Nice find for Matt Van Oekel, the goalkeeper. Pinged to pass some 60 yards to find McCartney. Now out the other side, Roof working with Derek Dodson. Hernandez Foster, 1-2 with McCartney. Birmingham enjoying a little bit of the ball at their feet for the moment. Legion still looking for their first bona fide scoring opportunity. Tyler Pasher chopped down by Blake. And a free kick given about 35 yards away from goal. Blake a little frustrated, wanted a little bit more pressure on the ever dangerous Tyler Passer. He's forced to foul him. And a free kick coming here, brought to you by Birmingham Freightliner for the Legion.
Legion FC has scored one off of a set piece so far this season in the 12 goals that they scored. But when you got two guys like this on the ball, they will whip in good crosses and good opportunities for your guys to get up and get on the end of them.
Swinging ball from Enzo Martinez. Dodson up to meet it. Got a piece of it. And Fabu clears it away only as far as Kasim. Big body still forward for Birmingham. Can they take advantage? Hernandez Foster. Back out to Pasher. Pasher thought about a third, thought better of it. Kasim has a shooting lane, and it's tipped over the bar by Sult.
That's a fantastic save from Salt. We talked about it on the other end. Matt Van Oekel making a really good save to get into the game and start your get your juices going. That's a equally as good of save from Salt right there. Kasim gets it out of his feet, picks his spot, gets across. I mean, that's a fantastic save.
Big time stop, the 21st of the year for Hunter Salt, the Alaskan native on loan from Portland Timbers. First corner of the night coming for the Legion, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Martinez finds Cronali at the back post, but Dodson couldn't keep the subsequent header down.
So in the two balls that Legion FC have been able to serve into the box so far, it has been Dodson got on the end of the free kick from Martinez, and then Cronali got on the end of the corner from Martinez. So again, Legion FC have big bodies. They can score off of set pieces. They just need the service to come through. And you can see Cronali was trying to head that back across for his teammate, and Dodson actually getting on the end of it. So you can see that what the plan is there.
Goal kick here for Indy 11 as we approach the midway point of this opening 45 minutes. Scoreless so far between Birmingham Legion and Indy 11. Little tussle there in midfield. Martinez went to ground but got back up. One possession back for his side. Birmingham fans, don't forget to stay up to date with all the latest Legion FC news. Be sure to follow at BHM Legion on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and download the Legion FC app in Google Play or the App Store. Enzo Martinez works towards the edge of the area. Jake Roof a little bit of space. Birmingham keeping it moving, trying to break down the defense here. Martinez couldn't keep his shot down, but he found a half space. Just couldn't challenge Sult that time.
Yeah, that's a really, really good sequence from Legion FC. Great pass in from Martinez, Hernandez Foster into Martinez. He just didn't keep over it, right? But one thing I really, really like what Legion FC is doing, Tom Stone has made it a very key point that he wants to drive Aiden Stanley as far back as he can and make sure that he has to defend. As players from Legion FC are getting as wide, basically, as the touchline will allow them to go, it's either Kasim, it's Dodson, it's been Jake Roof. It has been somebody out on that wing making sure he has to defend.
Birmingham starting to knock on the door a little bit more here over the past couple of minutes. Birmingham bench wanted a foul there, didn't get one. Instead, it's going to be a throw for Indy. I think Dawson McCartney might have gotten bumped down while he was trying to run forward. The referee didn't see it. Natalie Simon's done a good job keeping this game moving so far through 23 minutes. Augie Williams trying to turn. Did so. Well done to keep it right near the Birmingham bench, and out the other side, Indy 11 cycle possession. Anticipate nowhere to go. He'll cycle it back centrally. Callum Chapman-Page as the drums of the supporters section ring out here at Protective Stadium. A busy weekend here at this stadium. Yesterday hosting a UFL American football playoff game. The Birmingham Stallions advancing to the USL Championship game coming up in St. Louis. Today it's back to soccer here on this turf. Birmingham Legion and Indy 11 for the first time this year, the 11th time overall.
There has never been a draw in this head-to-head competition. Legion FC have won 4 at home and 2 in Indy, whereas Indy have won the remaining.
6 Birmingham wins. They split last year. Birmingham a late winner from Enzo Martinez here at Protective Stadium in 2023, and then Indy 11 blitzed Birmingham on a rainy night in Indiana. A count of 4-0 late last year. In the end, Indy finished with 49 points. That was 6th in the East, just 3 points ahead of Birmingham Legion. Birmingham a bit more playoff success. Birmingham with that win at Tampa. Indy, meanwhile, went to Charleston and ran into a buzzsaw. Lost to the Battery 5-0 in the first round of the playoffs. The Battery went on to win the Eastern Conference. And were the East's representative in the USL Cup final, eventually falling PKs to Phoenix Rising. Goal kick here for Matt Van Oekel in Birmingham Legion. Once again, he'll let Alex Cronali get the first touch of it. Fresh ball for Van Oekel is sent forward. Speaking of the ball, Fans Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Page moving forward again. This time finds Sebastian Guinzotti, who sunk deep for a touch. Famo getting forward as well. Indy testing this Birmingham defense a little bit more, starting to throw a few more red shirts into the attacking third. Trying to create some openings. A Famu, a wide option at the moment. Finds his pass deflected by AJ Patterson. But Famu does well to win it right back. Blake. Touch to Martinez. Mines couldn't quite get on the end of it. A ricochet for Blake and a big-time save. Matt Van Oekel gets a paw to it to force it over the top.
I mean, that'll be a Save of the Week nominee right there, as was Schultz. You know, that ball just finds its way to Blake, and he catches it on the half turn. He catches it really, really well. And I mean, that is just textbook goalkeeping right there. Matt Van Oekel has his feet set. Now, you can see Indy going over here to take a corner from their favorite spot. And Aiden Stanley going over to take it. I highly doubt this will be a short corner, but what this does is makes Legion FC send 2 defenders out to defend and creates more room in the box.
Stanley whips it towards the back post. Blake got a foot to it somehow, but Matt Van Oekel was there. Goodness gracious.
Not sure how that wasn't a foul, if I'm being entirely honest. Chapman-Page was all over Dotson, holding him down, and somehow gets his foot on it. So I think Page, she said, hey, you have the save, you have the ball, let's just keep playing. But that certainly would have been a foul had it gone in, I believe.
Might have been a foul, but it was an outstanding athletic effort there from Callum Chapman-Page. In his second year with Indy, after he spent last year on loan from Miami FC. Kobe Hernandez-Foster plays in Dawson McCartney, who's onside, and McCartney at the very last taking off it. Big time challenge from Chapman-Page, otherwise McCartney's in.
Yeah, that's a great tackle from Chapman-Page to come across. Legion FC get in behind, a good first touch, but a little bit too far in front of him. Can't get on the end of it, but again, Chapman-Page right there to clean things up. But another corner for Legion FC. Again, they've gotten on the first 2 from Martinez. been defenders from Legion FC who've gotten the first touch off of it.
Corner brought to you by Chick-fil-A, the second of the night for the Legion. Martinez to that same back post. Kernali hits it up in the air. Patterson couldn't quite get there. He was surrounded by not one, not two, but three red shirts.
Now you can see Kernali getting up again and heading that ball back across. I think Legion FC do that frequently, one, but two, Kernali versus Augustine Williams. I think they like that matchup. I'll be interested to see if Kernali, if he gets a third crack at this, does he head it straight back across, or does he maybe head it back for one of his teammates to come onto?
And at the 28:47 mark here, we are going to get our first hydration break of the night. Again, if you weren't with us off the top, it was 91 degrees at kickoff, so a steamy one, the warmest day we've had so far here in Birmingham, Alabama this year. Scoreless so far between Birmingham Legion and Indy 11. Blake Gardner, Morgan Copes here with you. Legion fans, don't forget Legion FC is back at Protective Stadium again on Wednesday, June 19th, 10 days from now, against San Antonio FC. That match kicks off at 7 o'clock Central Time. Get your tickets to the match today at bhmlegion.com/tickets. If you can't make it out to the match, you can watch it live on ESPN Plus or locally in Birmingham on My 68. That's Birmingham Legion and San Antonio FC coming up on June 19th.
One stat that's worth noting, these first 30 minutes, talk about attacking thirds, where teams are choosing to get at the other. Legion FC have gone 41% up their right side. Conversely, Indy 11 have gone 41.5% up their left side. So Dotson and Stanley are two very, very busy men tonight.
See Tom Sohn there telling his team what they need to do here over the final 15-plus minutes of this opening half. Sean McCauley, meanwhile, looks relatively pleased with the way his team has played so far here on the road. Another long road trip here for Indy after they went to Pittsburgh last weekend. Indy have been road warriors here over the past couple of weeks. They'll get San Antonio back home as well, along with Orange County coming up later this month. They've also got the Open Cup to worry about too. Scoreless between Birmingham Legion and Indy 11 so far, but how much longer will that remain the case as both teams starting to create a little bit more danger in the attacking thirds? 7 shots so far for Indy, 4 for Birmingham. Jack Blake has been all over the park as we expected for Indy. Looking for that 8th goal of the year already. Arguably nobody has benefited more from Sean McCauley coming to Indy than Jack Blake in. 3 goals last year along with 25 chances created, but already 7 this year. 4 of which have come from the penalty spot. Indy 11 have drawn 5 PKs as a team. That's a top mark in the USL this year. Back underway here on the turf at Protective. Ball falls for Indy 11. Cam Lindley recycles it to former Birmingham Legion defender Ben Ofemu. Here's Ben Mines trying to lay it off for Guenzati. Kavita beat him to it. It'll be an Indy throw in the attacking third. "32 minutes gone so far here in the Magic City. Douglas Martinez chests it back to Mines. Mines turns the corner. He's got a little bit of space. Got the serve away. And arguments for a handball in the box, and that handball is granted. A penalty coming here for Indy 11. Jake Roof trying to keep his hand tucked in. The referee not buying it.
Yeah, and off screen you can see Kavita and Martinez and Patterson have all gone over to the assistant referee. That ball looked like it from up here was out of bounds. We're going to get a replay here in just a moment to see. Well, we won't get to see if the ball went out of bounds or not, but certainly a handball and right on cue, as you have talked about from Indy. This is their 6th penalty of the year. Jack Blake stepping up to take it. The last one that he took went to the goalkeeper's bottom left.
So Blake, a chance to score again from the spot. It's an acrobatic effort from Aiden Stanley. Bounced off the turf and off the left arm of Jake Roof. So, Indy a chance to take a lead here on the road. 34th minute, it'll be Jack Blake from the spot against Matt Van Oekel. Blake ready, and Blake scores. Sends Van Oekel the wrong way, and Indy 11 on the board first.
You can still see the Legion FC players upset about the call, and they're getting at the center referee, but it's really not on her. It's the assistant referee down that line who just didn't seem to get into position. Again, we don't have a replay of that, but certainly up from the booth, it looked like it had gone out. Indy, don't take any chances, put it away. Bottom left, goalkeeper's left, exactly where he went in the last penalty he took.
Goal number 8 for Jack Blake. That's his 5th goal from the spot this year. Indy 11 have another lead, 1-0 Indy. A little more than 10 minutes left here in this opening 45. So Birmingham now with some work to do here at home. Jake Roof forced Dispe towards that touchline, but it's going to be a foul against Roof. A free kick here for Indy. For Birmingham Legion now, a little bit of frustration. Feels like they've played on level terms with Indy. It's Indy 11 who have a lead. Another look here. Did this ball go out of play before Mine served it? That was Birmingham's contention. It's awfully hard to tell. Everyone else here in Protective Stadium getting a look at it as well. But AR had the best look at it and let that play continue. And eventually that resulted in that Jake Roof handball. Team that has been playing as well as Indy have over the last couple months. Can't afford to give them much. They're good enough as it is. Indiana's team a lead on the road. Of course, Indy 11, one of the best road teams in the league last year. They had 28 points on the road, second only to Charleston Battery. They've been good home or road, hasn't really mattered. The last couple of months, 10 straight unbeaten across the USL Championship and US Open Cup. 6 straight wins coming into tonight. That is a franchise record since they joined the USL Championship back in 2018. Indy would love to take that advantage into the halftime dressing room. Birmingham trying to do something about it. AJ Patterson working with Dawson McCartney on the left flank.
Just an interesting stat. Indy 11 have avoided defeat in their last 5 matches when scoring first in the USL Championship. Last time they lost was 1-2 in Detroit on March 30th.
Losses have been few and far between for Indy all season long, but especially over this stretch. They're playing from in front once again. Lock cycle possession here for the Legion. Their captain Fonwell Kavita directing traffic. Birmingham looking for a breakthrough here. Tyler Pasher's touch let him down. Guinzotti able to maintain it for Indy. Famu lobs it down the line. Douglas Martinez off and running. Martinez 2v2. Augie Williams a shot. Van Oekel saw it the whole way.
Legion FC have to be careful in possession there. Even if you do give it away, you got to get pressure on the ball quickly so you can make sure that they're not able to turn and get away, right, and start a counter. But you know, we talked about it in pregame. One of the keys to the game for Legion FC, right? Indy 11 have only kept 1 clean sheet in the USL Championship this year. So attack, attack, attack. Do not stop getting at them. Do not stop trying to create chances for yourself. And they'll have another great opportunity here with this free kick earned by Prosper Kassim.
Kassim trying to get around Adrian Dispe. Dispe called for the foul, so free kick for the Legion. That right flank. Less than 5 yards outside the 18-yard box. Free kick brought to you by Birmingham Freightliner. Tyler Pasher's got options here.
This will be the first ball whipped in by Pasher from a set piece. Enzo Martinez has been on the other ones, but wouldn't be shocked if he actually goes for goal here.
Pasher whips it in. Headed away by Guenzati, right back to Pasher. Pasher a second serve. Dealt with by Chapman Page. And Indy able to clear their lines defensively.
Have to slow the ball down here. Great job.
Oh, Patterson thought he went shoulder to shoulder with Cam Lindley. Referee didn't agree. It's a free kick for Indy 11. Cam Lindley still down over there.
Got him in between the shoulder blades, so well, it seemed like it was a pretty light touch. Every time you see something in slow motion, it always looks worse than it is, but certainly not shoulder to shoulder there. He got into his back, unfortunately, for Legion FC and for AJ Patterson, but you know, he escapes without a card. There's no counterattack from Indy 11. Maybe it's not all bad news.
So a free kick for Indy taken quickly. Martinez flicks it into the run of Augie Williams. Here comes Indy again. Williams into the area, 1v1 against Kavita. Holds it up for Ben Mines, a first-time serve behind everybody. Here's Stanley. His shot blocked aside by Dodson. Good defensive positioning from Derek Dodson. Indy cycle through their defensive line once again. Here's Chapman Page and Jack Blake. Benafemu. 40 minutes gone here at Protective Stadium in Birmingham. Indy 11-1, Birmingham Legion 0. The difference so far, a Jake Roof handball that was converted by Jack Blake from the penalty spot. His 5th PK goal, his 8th goal this year. Indy taking advantage of the miscue and looking for more. Here comes Mines on the run. Martinez joining the attack as well. Martinez cuts it back to the penalty spot. Dodson beat Guenzati there. And he absolutely had to. Whistle and a foul as Guenzati, the last man to get there, is also called for the foul.
That's good defending from Dodson. Reads the danger well. So often you see players arrive late, midfielders a lot of times. Sometimes center forwards do that. But you have to be aware of that. That danger, and Dodson certainly was in that moment and did a fantastic job earning the free kick for his team.
So now possession belongs to Birmingham. Birmingham fans, if you're looking to grab some of this season's Legion FC merch to wear to the next home match coming up in mid-June at Protective Stadium, you can check out all the new gear now at bhmlegion.shop. Martinez tries to lay it off for Pasher. Another strong challenge from Chapman Page to win it back. Augie Williams on the run again. Williams 1v1 against Crognali until Birmingham gets defenders back behind the ball. Jack Blake. Out wide, Stanley couldn't keep himself onside. The flag up.
He made a lung-busting run right there to try and get that ball, and Augie Williams decides to not play him in, and Blake gives it to him, but a little bit too late, and Legion FC here turning and going the other way. Great job from Benafemu to keep Pasher away from that ball. Excuse me, Kasim.
Benafemu familiar with Prosper Kasim. Those two guys, teammates a few years back. Benafemu now a member of Indy 11 and thriving. Team of the Week honoree last week after he had 14 clearances, including 2 close to the goal line. Indy 11's win against Pittsburgh. Shrewd move that is turning into for Indy 11.
And if you talk to Benafemu's teammates, they will all tell you there's not a nicer guy on the team. Apparently he's a very funny one as well, but certainly everyone happy to see him do well everywhere he's been.
Pasher clips it out wide. AJ Patterson a little bit of space, quickly closed down by Mines. Here's McCartney edge of the area. McCartney racing to the byline. Was he hit from behind? Referee says no. Mines got the last touch of the ball though. It'll be a Birmingham corner, their 3rd of the evening, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Interesting, Legion FC seeing Tyler Pasher over here to whipping an out-swinging cross here, away from the goalkeeper.
Before Pasher swings it in, Natalie Simon, our referee tonight, is having some words with Chapman Page and Jake Roof, both who were awfully close to Hunter Solt, the goalkeeper.
I also wouldn't be shocked if Pasher hits this to Hernandez Foster.
Pasher to the back post, and the flag up. Looks like that crossed the in line before it came back into play.
It's a miscue from Legion FC. At this level, you never want to see a cross do that. There are a lot of coaches that will say, that's a big reason I don't have an out-swinging cross. It's because if you miss it just a little bit, trying to play a tight line there, and that ball goes out of bounds, you're stuck having to go back on the defense.
Hunter Solt taking a breather here before his Indy 11 team gets set. Fancy Football 2024 is here. You can live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club on eFootball. eFootball is free to play. Download it now on the gaming device of your choice.
This could be trouble.
What a ball over the top. Patterson gets it to Kasim, trying to chip the goalkeeper, but Solt made the play. Kasim couldn't get it on frame anyways. Now what's the decision here from the referees? Is it a corner? Yes, it is. Yeah. So Kasim's shot took a deflection off of Dispe. Solt was trying to keep it in play but couldn't. So a corner here for the Legion, everyone racing forward. Natalie Simon first having words with Indy 11 captain Cam Lindley, who is not a huge fan of that call. Outstanding ball over the top from A.J. Patterson to get Kasim in behind for a moment. So here's another Chick-fil-A corner kick served by Martinez. Kavita got a head to it just a little bit wide.
That's now 4 set pieces taken from Enzo Martinez that Legion FC has gotten the first touch off of. Also, talking about the number 4, remember extra time minutes we have in the first half.
Not a bad effort there for the Birmingham captain. Just a little bit off target. It is, as Morgan said, 4 minutes of first half stoppage time, brought to you by UAB Medicine. See if either side can create anything more here as we wind down this opening half. Indy 11-1, Birmingham Legion 0 for the moment.
It's been a really, really even first half, in my opinion, right? Except for, maybe shots a little bit swayed in Indy's way, and obviously the goal. But apart from that, possession is 52-48 to Legion FC. I think both teams have created decent enough chances to get a goal. Legion FC just unfortunate that ball stayed in bounds and ended up earning a penalty for Indy 11 for Jack Blake to walk onto. But overall, if I'm Tom Sohn, I don't know that I'm changing much. And if I'm Coach McCauley, I'm certainly not changing much. I'm not going to go chase the game now. I've got a 1-0 lead away, right? It's 90 degrees outside.
It's been Birmingham who's been looking for a response of some sort ever since that PK slotted home by Jack Blake in the 34th minute. Prosper Kasim onto that, into Martinez, couldn't quite keep it in a crowd. Defending, tracking back by Sebastian Guenzati. Guenzati couldn't get on the end of that pass. Dawson McCartney wins it back for the Legion. McCartney hounded by Lindley, opts to give it up. Birmingham trying to fashion another attack here. Hernandez Foster couldn't quite thread it through to Martinez. Chapman Page has had an excellent first half. So far, so good for this Indy 11 back line. 2.5 minutes into our minimum of 4 to close this first half.
I would skip this pass to Foster and I would have gone straight to Dodson if I could have there, but
Martinez takes a shot through traffic. That's blocked by Ofemu. Cleared away in the direction of Augie Williams, who couldn't keep it in play. It'll be a Birmingham throw. Legion trying to keep the pressure on. Jake Roof a bit of space. His pass cut out by Stanley.
You can see Indy 11 have 9 of their 10 field players within 40 yards of their goal, and they themselves, from front to back, between the back line of Famu, Chapman, Page, and Dispe, to the furthest player forward, are only 20 yards. So you're 40 yards away from goal. You're 20 yards front to back defensively. It's like playing on the size of a postage stamp, right? It's very difficult for Legion FC to get through that, and it makes it tough. And a lot of times that's why you see teams start to switch the ball across the back several times.
Another throw here for Indy 11 after Sebastian Guenzati did well enough to win Indy. Another throw in the attacking half of the park. Guenzati, Stanley couldn't quite keep it. Hernandez Foster wins it back for the Legion. Birmingham attack the other direction here. They've got very little time left, and that indeed is going to be all we've got here in this first half. One half in the books. Jack Blake's penalty the difference. Indy 11 has the opening goal for the 7th time this year. And right now in the driver's seat, looking for their 7th consecutive USL Championship win. 1-0 Indy at halftime. Don't go anywhere. Coming up at the break, we've got plenty, including a chat with Birmingham goalkeeper Matt Van Oekel. Plus, we'll recap a busy weekend in the USL Championship and get a look at standings, news and notes, and more across the league. That all comes your way when we return at halftime. Indy 11-1, Birmingham Legion 0 here at Protective Stadium.
Calling all Legion fans, Birmingham Legion and your local Papa John's have teamed up to kick your hunger with these exclusive Papa John's deals. When the Legion win, you win. Get a free large pizza with the purchase of a large pizza at regular menu price the day after a Legion win, using code LEGIONWINS at papajohns.com. Hungry for better? All season long, enjoy 25% off your regular menu price order when you use code LEGION at papajohns.com. Don't miss out on these great deals at a participating Papa John's.
Season tickets on sale now.
Welcome back to our coverage of Birmingham Legion FC. Here with Matt Van Oekel. Matt, happy Donut Day. It's National Donut Day.
Is it really?
It is.
Oh, no one told me that. Why didn't I get donuts?
I figured it was a holiday for you.
Golly, I gotta go pick up some on my way home now.
What's your favorite?
Vanilla frosting with sprinkles.
Ooh. Gotta have the sprinkles there.
Gotta have the sprinkles.
All right, fair enough. You had a donut with sprinkles a couple of weeks back, your second clean sheet of the year. I know your defense is still kind of coalescing. You're working some new pieces in there. What's it felt like for you?
It's been good. We've starting to hit our groove a little bit. We're starting to get some, I think, players in their spots, and we're turning over right now. I'm seeing a lot less shots per game. I think the chemistry. I think we're really finding our groove. I think we're all understanding what our roles and responsibilities are on the field, and we're together in the locker room. Everyone's together. We're always chatting about the next opponent, what we can do better, and we're looking forward to this weekend.
And for a guy like you, as this season kind of wears on now in your 37 age season, what do you do? I mean, is it cold plunges? Is it hot towels? Like, how do you keep your body in shape for the rest of the year?
There's some things I won't say on tape, but it's we've got a fantastic medical team with UAB, and of course our trainer Allie. She keeps me glued together, and I've been very happy this season with the way my body's been feeling.
I was about to say, you've kept up with some of the younger guys running around.
Oh, of course. They got to look up. I got to set a good example for them.
What's the key for you? What are you focusing on here throughout this summer?
This summer, staying healthy, but more importantly, let's put more 3 points on the board.
Sounds like a plan. Matt Van Oekel, goalkeeper for Birmingham Legion. More from our coverage of the Legion right after this.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
Rolls it across, Cheney leaves it, Galindres! Regulation time, Doyle, headed up in front, rebound, scores!
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL. You can see it in my eyes when we walk past. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
Welcome back here to our coverage of the USL Championship tonight in Birmingham, Alabama. Lovely Railroad Park, one of the highlights of the south side here of Birmingham. Up on the north side, we're here at Protective Stadium. 1-0 our score at halftime between Indy 11 and Birmingham Legion. Conference standings tonight are brought to you by Prinks Tires. Let's look at the Western Conference first. New Mexico United running away with it, with Sacramento Republic not too far behind. Everyone else tightly bunched there. Not a whole lot of space between number 3 on that table and number 9 on that table. Morgan tightly bunched. FC Tulsa, the former Eastern Conference team, and El Paso, really the only two that have plenty of work to do.
Yeah, no, certainly it's the West is typically very tight as it is anyway, so no surprises here. But Sacramento in second to New Mexico United, who's at the top of the table. They're having a great start to the year.
Sacramento, 24 points despite 6 draws. Meanwhile, on the Eastern Conference side of things, no team has scored goals in bunches more than Louisville City, who have 32 points through their first 13 games. It's a phenomenal start for Lou City.
And they've got a game in hand on Charleston, too, and they're already 3 points ahead. Louisville City are clicking on all cylinders. They have done a fantastic job already this year and are probably the most difficult team to play at home thus far.
Meanwhile, we've talked about Indy's form. They have vaulted up the line, just 6 points back of Charleston in that 3 spot right now, a few points ahead of Birmingham Legion, who reside in that 6 spot for the moment. Seen a little bit of movement in those Prinks Tires performance standings because of what has happened here in Week 14. We'll start with El Paso, who got a huge win against San Antonio 1-0. Louisville City scored multiple goals. That's no surprise against North Carolina FC. That was a testy match there between Charleston and Pittsburgh. In the end, no blood between the two black and yellow sides on the East Coast.
Yeah, and you know, you look at that FC Tulsa result against San Antonio. 2 of the goals in that game were absolute The fantastic goals. If you missed them, go make sure you see them.
Meanwhile, Detroit City 2-0 winners over Rhode Island. Good for Detroit City getting back in the win column after a couple of losses and a couple of draws their last 4 times out. Sacramento Republic took out Monterey Bay 2-0 and got a huge save from Tony Vitello. I don't know if you saw that save or not. He made a save of the week type performance. Meanwhile, Oakland Roots taking 3 points off of Tampa Bay Rowdies. That is a very nice win for the Roots given how well Tampa Bay has played this year.
Yeah, you can see the Western Conference getting 2 wins over Eastern Conference teams this week. Big results for the Western Conference.
A slow start for Oakland, but now they have won 3 of their last 4, and Oakland will be back on the national stage. That was news that dropped earlier this week. They will get a CBS broadcast treatment as they take on Sacramento Republic. That game, July 21st, will now air in front of a nationally televised audience. Tampa Bay Rowdies, meanwhile, handed Sacramento Republic their first loss of the season. Sacramento Republic, those 6 draws to go along with 6 wins, but finally have fallen in the 1st of June to Tampa Bay. Meanwhile, San Antonio, a nice acquisition. Jake LaCava not getting the minutes he probably wanted there in Charleston, so he moves over to the Western Conference side of things, hoping to contribute a little bit more for San Antonio FC.
Yeah, great pickup for San Antonio with Jake LaCava. He'll make an impact for them for sure. Interesting to see that Sacramento gets their first loss after Rober Lopez gets a season-ending injury. So be interested to see how they recover from that.
Here at halftime in Birmingham, it's 1-0 Indy on top. And Morgan, you said it, most things fairly even, all things considered, in that first 45 minutes, minus the PK, of course.
Yeah, and you look at what Legion FC have done. Again, I said it during the broadcast. I love what Coach Sohn, Coach Avila have done with Legion FC. They've kept Aiden Stanley kind of quiet. He hasn't had a ton of touches, haven't created too many chances for teammates yet. They have to continue that going forward. But if you're Indy 11, you love where you're at, you love where you've been, because you haven't lost in this position yet this season. So you're certainly going to be the happier of the two going in at halftime.
We'll see if Indy can hang on to that advantage for 45 more minutes when we come back to Protective Stadium. 1-0 Indy at the brink. Indy looking for their 7th straight win. Birmingham Legion, some work to do. We'll see if any adjustments are made coming out of the halftime dressing rooms when we come back for the second half, right after this.
We are Altec, Birmingham-based since 1929. We set the gold standard in equipment and services that connect us to the power and communications we all need. From bucket trucks to digger derricks, the equipment we make helps our customers and our communities dig deeper and reach higher. We're a team. We're a family. We're looking for someone just like you. Hammer down and team up with Altec. Learn more at jobs.altec.com.
They come for the pop, the sizzle, the food and drink. They come to escape the same old and replace it with the some kind of wonderful. But mostly they come to play. And play, they will.
Hey, thanks for the backup. Well, it's turned into a beautiful, if a little bit toasty night here in the Magic City in Birmingham, Alabama, as we welcome you back. Indy 11-1, Birmingham Legion 0. Before we get the second half started, let's look at some of our highlights from our first half. And Morgan, let's start first with a penalty.
Absolutely. No questions, no arguments of whether this is a penalty or not. The questions are, is the ball in or is it out? Jack Blake makes no mistake, steps up, slots that in the bottom corner, just like he did with the last one he did, and Indy 11 walk in 1-0 at halftime.
Fifth PK goal for Jack Blake. Birmingham had their opportunities. Hunter sold a big-time stop here against Prosper Kassim.
Yeah, that's the only time he's really been called into action thus far to make a big save, and he stood up to the task. You know, we talk about Chapman Page had to make a couple of really big interventions, but Legion FC have knocked on the door, so that's something Fanuel Kavita will have wanted back to put on frame and actually test the goalkeeper. But, you know, again, both goalkeepers have made fantastic Save of the Week nominees tonight.
Hunter Solt on one end, Matt Van Oekel, a point-blank range save on the other. Also denied Jack Blake what would have been a tremendous goal near the top of the box. MVO entered play today, top 10 in the USL in saves so far this year. He won't get a clean sheet tonight, but he's hoping to keep this at just one Indy 11 goal tonight, which would give his Birmingham side a chance to claw back in this game, as we are just about ready for the second 45 minutes. And it looks like one change has been made here. Indy 11 are going to start this second half with Lawrence Wootton. The Englishman and former Ohio State Buckeye is on to replace Douglas Martinez. So Wootton on, the man on loan from Chicago Fire. He makes his 6th appearance of the year for Indy, his 5th off the bench after he played the final 22 minutes against Pittsburgh Riverhounds last time out. So Lawrence Wootton is on. Douglas Martinez's evening is done after 45 minutes. Meanwhile, no changes for Birmingham Legion, as we are just about ready for this second half. Just waiting on Natalie Simon to give us the go-ahead. Indy 11-1, Birmingham Legion 0. Indy 11 trying to see out yet another 3-point performance. Birmingham Legion has something to say about that. The second half underway here at Protective Stadium. And right away, Jake Roof shoved from behind by Aiden Stanley. It'll be a free kick for the Legion right in front of their own bench, which is taken quickly.
So interesting stats. Legion FC have now failed to score in 11 of their 13 matches this year in the first half. So that's obviously not good. The flip side of that is you've been a second half team all year. You can certainly come back to get a result from this. It's going to take you getting the first goal in the second half, making sure you keep the pressure on Indy. But Indy in this position, they've won 4 and lost 1 so far this year.
Just 3 first half goals this year for Birmingham Legion, but of their 12 they've scored this year, 9 have come in the second half. We'll see if Tom Stone has made any changes here tactically for the Legion as they're trying to break down this Indy defense. For the most part, has been fairly organized tonight. Derek Dotson finds into Martinez in a half space. Martinez on the run for Kassim, who's chopped down again. Another timely challenge there from Callan Chapman Page, who is putting in quite the shift tonight. Aiden Stanley picks up his head. Wootton just into the game on the run, trying to keep his feet. Was he clipped? Yes, he was. Foul conceded by Alex Crognali, and a set-piece opportunity coming here for Indy. So Indy going to go ahead and get plenty of red shirts forward. Cam Lindley giving this a long look with Aiden Stanley. Not shooting range, but certainly a solid angle to be served.
I would be very wary of Jack Blake right here, who is hanging out right behind the Legion FC wall, slipping him in. I can see that happening. There's certainly something going on with that. That's certainly by design.
So options here for Indy 11 on the first set-piece opportunity of this second half. Lillian swinging serve. Matt Van Oekel didn't catch it clean, but did catch it in the end.
There's a great opportunity for Legion FC to break, but Augie Williams does a fantastic job. His teammates will applaud him there as a number 9. Getting back to slow the ball down to make sure you kill a counterattack is always something very important off a corner.
Roof hounded by Blake, forced backwards to his center back, Alex Cronali. Pings a pass some 60 yards across the park to A.J. Patterson. Both sides benefiting from former members of Charleston Battery. Augie Williams came over from Charleston to Indy. A.J. Patterson from Charleston to the Legion. Tyler Pasher trying to get it back to Patterson. That pass a little bit under hit, but Patterson able to keep it away from Guenzati. Now Birmingham trying to build their first real attack of the second half. Martinez from Dodson couldn't keep it in a tight space. Roof couldn't keep it either. Augie Williams instead onto it. Now he's looking for a little bit in the way of support working forward. Hold up play from Williams, but nothing more than that as Birmingham get everybody back organized again. Wide Ben Mines a little bit of space. Mines bombing forward, showing off the pace. His serve cut back. Guenzati, his shot blocked away. Good defending by Kavita, but Guenzati had a shooting opportunity that frustrated Kavita, who's yelling at his teammates, trying to get people organized. It'll be the third corner of the night for Indy.
This is where Legion FC have to make sure they are very switched on. This is the corner that Indy loves. And that man that we talked about prior to the match starting, Hayden Stanley, going over to take this one. Again, fully expect Indy to send it to, draws Kasim and Pasher out closer to them, and gives them an opportunity to get a couple defenders out. But
Stanley serves it to the back post of Fame, who got ahead to it but couldn't redirect it goalward. Now trying to save it but can't. It rolls over the touchline for a Birmingham throw. Birmingham's defense does the job once again. Fans, if you can't watch the match, you can turn on Sirius XM FC 157. North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access. Tuesdays at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Shout out to everybody joining us on Sirius XM FC tonight. Birmingham Legion looking for an equalizing goal. Prosper Kasim couldn't quite bring down that long ball over the top. Not a bad idea. Birmingham trying to restart quickly off a free kick and a foul in their own defensive third. Page finds Jack Blake. Solid on the turn. Lindley.
what a pass. What a pass that was.
Here comes Stanley. Into the area. Stanley's cross cut out by Cronali. And solid defensive work from Alex Cronali, but another corner coming here for Indy.
And it just shows you how quickly they can get up and go. Interestingly enough, watching Aiden Stanley make a decision, we have a great vantage point from where we're at. Our angle was reversed from what you see on screen, but he didn't look to shape up to ever shoot that ball. That was never in his thought process from what we can see up here. He was always looking to serve. No surprises, he has no goals, but 7 assists with that.
The early corner here in this second half. Lindley, back post. Van Oekel got a touch, so did Cronali. And it goes out of play to the right side of that corner flag. So it'll be a throw here for Indy. A little bit of nervousness now looking at the weather radar as some storms are approaching central Alabama here. Hopefully those stay away, at least for another 39 plus minutes. 52 minutes now gone between Birmingham Legion and Indy 11. Indy trying to throw it back in. Lawrence wasn't able to bring it down, but only for a moment. It'll be another Indy throw.
As this progresses, I mean, you just see what Coach Sohn and Legion FC have discussed at halftime about, hey, if we haven't, started knocking on the door, gotten closer to opening that door, do we go and make some changes? And if I'm Tom Sohn, I'm looking who's on my bench. You've got Tabor Taka, who's got blinding pace. You've got Nwegbo, who has consistently come off the bench for this team and created some things. So, you have some options going forward that should give you a chance to get yourself back in the game if you're not already in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Mines for Gonzatti. Gonzatti couldn't get it around Kavita. It falls for Blake. It deflects off not one, but two Legion players before Van Oekel recovers. Indy 11 starting to challenge this Birmingham backline a little bit more. Perhaps their eyes on a second. Another look at that opportunity here from Gonzatti and Blake. Kavita's back and then off of the leg of Dodson. In the end, Van Oekel able to hold it. Now the ball passed all the way back to the feet of the Birmingham goalkeeper, who resets everything for the Legion. Birmingham fans, if you're looking to grab some of this season's Legion FC merch to wear to the next home match at Protective Stadium, you can check out all the new gear now at bhmlegion.shop. Again, that's bhmlegion.shop. So Martinez couldn't hold that up against Adrian Dispe. The 11 defense having a solid night to this point, trying to keep that going.
And thus far, Chapman Page has certainly warranted his inclusion in the 11, getting O'Brien out of it despite their success. You know, he's been fantastic and a rock for them at the back thus far.
Jack Blake working with Aiden Stanley. Wotton makes the run forward, cuts it back. Blake near the penalty spot. His shot blocked by McCartney. It falls for Mines. His shot blocked by Patterson. Still work to do defensively for the Legion. Indy 11 have kept the pressure on here to start this second half. And Afemu out wide. Blake, a serve from a wide position over the top of everybody. Stanley over to collect it. His left-footed serve partially blocked. Blake near the touchline. Who touched it last? He did. It'll be a Birmingham throw. Morgan 10 minutes into the second half, and Indy 11 looking like a team that's poised to add a second.
That certainly seems to be the likely outcome if you were going to pick a team that was going to score in the second half thus far. But again, you know, Legion FC, they generally like to start slow, and you know, it takes them a minute to get going. But there's certainly somebody that will play till the very, very last whistle, and a lot of times they leave it late. So interesting to see what happens.
Stanley a little bit more space on that left side. Overlapping run from Wotton, cuts it back. Blake couldn't quite catch it cleanly. Matt Van Oekel another save. .45 into this second half. Indy 11-1, Birmingham Legion 0. And Indy have been the more dangerous side to start this second half. Birmingham would love to change that. Hernandez Foster's pass over the top, intercepted by Dispe. Blake tried to get it through to Augie Williams. He collided with Alex Crinali. Both guys went down. Both wanted the whistle. Neither got one. Augie Williams still down after that challenge. A.J. Patterson brings play to a halt. Williams will now get some medical attention. Williams was trying to turn there against Alex Crinali. Get past him and work goalwards. Looked like both guys collided before they got to the ball.
Love the effort here from Blake. It's hard to say if anybody fouled anybody in that instance. Both going for the ball. I don't think you could say one way or the other definitively. I think it was a good no call from the referee in that instance.
So Williams still down, receiving a little bit of treatment. De facto water break for both teams here, although we still expect we'll see a hydration break a little bit later on in this second half. Fancy USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Colossal Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings this season. Birmingham Legion, Indy 11 on ESPN Plus tonight. On My 68 here in the state of Alabama and on Sirius XM FC 157. Blake Gardner, Morgan Copes here with you. 12.5 minutes into the second half. Indy 11 has led since Jack Blake found the back of the net from the penalty spot back in the 34th minute. Augie Williams, after a bit of medical attention, is ready to be waved back on as we get play restarted. Birmingham Legion back on the ball. Prosper Kassim working into the attacking third. Williams waved back on for Indy. Dotson couldn't quite thread it through to Martinez. It's cleared over the top of the Birmingham bench. Birmingham quick to get it back in play. Kobe Hernandez-Foster lets it fly and didn't miss by much.
I'll tell you what, Solt was at full stretch there. He was very worried about that one. Hernandez-Foster caught all of that, and you know, it's no surprise as he has the capability to hit him from that range, and what a fantastic effort that was. He caught that as clean as you could get it.
Kobe Hernandez-Foster, the 21-year-old from LA. Former LA Galaxy Academy product who was over in Germany and Norway, came back stateside this year. He's played every minute of USL Championship play for the Legion so far this year and just missed what would have been his first Birmingham Legion goal. The 11 back in possession as we approach the hour mark, and Top Zone and Birmingham are prepping a double change here at the next stoppage. First things first, Birmingham a little defending to do. Lindley pings it across the park to Stanley. Button on the turn. Lindley back out wide. Stanley has Blake as a short option, goes to the back post instead, over the top of everybody. And now Birmingham will make those two changes. Substitutions brought to you by Papa John's. Birmingham fans, use code LEGION for 25% off your regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. It is Tabor Itaka Preston on for Jake Roof. That is the first change, and then the second change is Tyler Pasher off, and the 19-year-old Miguel Perez on loan from St. Louis FC. He's on here as well at the hour mark. So Perez and Tabor Itaka on, Roof and Pasher off for the Legion.
I'm not shocked to see Jake Roof subbed off. He has been everywhere on this field. He showed up on Aiden Stanley's boots at left back, very deep. He showed up, right next to AJ Patterson. So on the complete opposite side of the field. So no surprises there. You bring off Tyler Pasher, who's a guy who can create for himself and for others, and bring on Tabor Itaka, and he's a guy who, as we talked about, has blistering pace and a chance to show it off right here.
There is Tabor Itaka. He lost his footing. The turf monster clipped him. Gotta watch out for that turf monster. He's everywhere.
I believe the Matrix heard me saying something nice about him and decided to slow him down in that instance.
Sebastian Guenzati fouled on the other side of the park. It'll be a free kick for Indy. Sean McCauley there on the Indy bench looking pleased. His side leads with less than 29 minutes to go. Birmingham making two changes, their first two changes of the night, trying to flip the momentum of this match. It's been Indy 11 who have been in control to start this second half. Knocked on the door a couple of times. Van Okel and this Birmingham backline have turned them away. Cam Lindley over the top, headed away by Dawson McCartney. Blake for Guenzati, got it right back to him. Perez did well to get a boot in, disrupt the attack. All the way back it goes to Hunter Solt.
I do find it a little interesting that Legion FC have chosen to put Tabor Itaka out on the right. Gets involved in the play again. And Prosper Kassim on the left. Kassim typically likes to show up on that right wing and cut inside, and is more defensively minded tactically than Tabor Itaka is. And when you've got a guy like Aiden Stanley from Indy who can get up and down that left wing and be very, very dangerous as he does it, interesting to see that decision. Hopefully it pays off for them, but if you're watching at home, Brickyard Battalion watching, and you're probably happy with that decision and hope that Aiden Stanley can get some free time to serve some balls in for his teammates.
Good work by Alex Cronali defensively to win it back for the Legion after the Indy free kick. What a touch from Perez, gets him around one man, and here comes the youngster. Perez picks up his head to the back post, a little too far for Kassim, but it took a deflection on the way there. Go out of play for a Birmingham corner, their 5th of the night, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Kassim plays it quickly. Martinez gets it to Tabor Itaka. His shot just a little too strong.
That's very, very swift thinking from Legion FC. Kind of caught Indy napping a little bit. I fully expected and would have expected Martinez to go over and take that and let the big guys come forward, but they take it quickly. Nice little pass to Tabor Itaka. End product, just not there.
Great look there at Miguel Perez, the 19-year-old on loan from St. Louis City. The second ever St. Louis homegrown signing. Excellent touch there to get him into space, making his 11th appearance here for Birmingham this year. A tussle there after that goal kick, and foul's going to go against Augie Williams. Birmingham quickly with possession back. Kavita, the Birmingham captain. Over the midway line is Birmingham trying to break down this Indy defense that has been solid so far tonight. Martinez with a flick finds Kassim. A crowd, Kassim able to maintain possession. Perez, Dotson cuts it back to the penalty spot. Martinez, his shot blocked on the way through. Shouts for a handball from Birmingham this time. They go ungranted. And a foul and a free kick as Callum Chapman-Page sacrificed his body in front of the mouth of goal. He was fouled. Enzo Martinez and Birmingham want another look at this. We'll get one right here. What an opportunity for Enzo Martinez. Great job by Ofemu.
Speaking of the turf monster a few minutes ago, that one caught Chapman-Page, but he made up for it and cleared it again. I know we're only 65 minutes into this game, but he's certainly got to be a man of the match candidate thus far.
So Indy survive a flurry and a dangerous opportunity. The ever dangerous Enzo Martinez. Meanwhile, Fanuel Kavita's called for a foul on the bump of Sebastian Guenzati. He didn't love the call, but Indy quickly put it down in play. Stanley fouled from behind as well by Perez.
And as a former center forward, I 100% agree with Guenzati as somebody neutral maybe watching this game. The referee has not called those types of things, right? She's kind of allowed them to tussle, and Augustine Williams is a little bit different than Guenzati, so he took advantage of it and decided to go down and got the call. But
Stanley got the serve away. Cronali, though, dealt with it cleanly, no issue. Another throw for Indy here after Indy again put it down quickly and opted to play, trying to catch Birmingham napping.
And so more questions as to whether that ball was in play or not.
Stanley taking his time this time before throwing it back in. 66 minutes gone now. Stanley lobs it in. Guenzati couldn't hold it. Courtney flicks it over the top of his head away from trouble. Courtney racing upfield to try to get Birmingham back on the ball. Ofemu shields it away from Martinez. It'll be an Indy throw in their own defensive half this time. Big Ben Ofemu now looking for a target. Former Philadelphia Union Academy product. Spent a year with Birmingham Legion before going to Miami. What a move by Indy 11 to go get Ben Ofemu and Ben Mines in a trade for Barbier and Molina. Those two go from Indy to Miami. Ben Mines and Ben Ofemu come to Indy, and they have made an instant impact so far this year. Speaking of Ben Mines on the ball right now, dispossessed by Kavita. And as Foster keeps it moving, here come the Legion trying to bomb bodies forward. Kassim, Tabor Itaka on a dead sprint against Diespay, got the serve all the way across the face of goal, but nobody had made that run.
You can see the reaction from the bench from Legion FC. All the coaches just kind of lean back in their chairs with two legs on the ground. They do such a fantastic job to break and get forward. Tabor Itaka puts a ball across the 6, and Legion FC don't have a single player inside the 18. as that happens. Kasim didn't make it in there, nor did Martinez. Maybe they probably saw something different and thought he could pitch it backwards instead of across. But you have to think to yourself, if you're Tabor Ataka, that's a good place to put the ball. And probably a little upset with your teammates for not getting on the end of it, or at least getting closer to being on the end of it. But as we look at Dispe down, that heat and that humidity is starting to take its toll, and wouldn't be shocked to see more players start to. Oh no, that's not good. That's a hamstring. Hate to see that.
Yeah, an immediate grab there on the replay. We saw that left hamstring by Adrian Dispe, the 30-year-old Cuban defender who goes back a long ways with Sean McCauley, all the way back to Dispe's time with Portland Timbers and Timbers 2. Dispe has been an integral part of this Indy setup here for the past couple of seasons, and hopefully for him it's just cramps. But that was an immediate grab of that hamstring, and we'll see if he can get those cramps subsided, or if Indy's going to be forced into a change. And right now it looks like the latter. Indy immediately with another red shirt ready to check in, and Adrian Dispe's evening is done. So the Cuban checks out. Josh O'Brien, who had the set piece goal last weekend for Indy 11, is coming on. Substitution brought to you by Papa John's. Dispe's night is done, and hopefully it's not too serious. Josh O'Brien, the 21-year-old, is on. O'Brien, born in Ireland, moved to California at a very young age, and now back here in the States after spending last year in Scottish League One.
Yeah, good news, bad news for Indy fans. Obviously, bad news is Dispe is off, and we hope that's not serious, but potentially could be. Good news is you're bringing on a guy in O'Brien who is certainly capable of helping your team get 3 points tonight. We'll have to slide in to that left center back, or that left back position for Indy.
So Indy with a little bit of turbulence now as one of their key defensive pieces comes off. Visitors have made a couple of changes tonight. Trying to see out another three-point performance here on the road. Foul and a free kick given to Indy. Dawson McCartney called for the foul, taking out Mines.
I'm interested to see how Indy's doing this. As they get free kicks, they're still looking to play quickly and catch Legion FC out.
Jack Blake, a big-time shot that's saved by Van Oekel, and then a second stop by Van Oekel. Mines from a tight angle, put it on frame. Matt Van Oekel coming up with a couple of huge stops. A free kick is given up the field to the Legion.
Yeah, and if that wasn't on frame, Augie Williams is right there to tap that in. Look at him, he's already in a good scoring position. As that ball comes across, if he doesn't get a hand to it, Augie Williams is tapping it in to make it 2-0. It's funny, just talking about how, I was questioning Indy for playing quickly, and turn around and they get 2 shots and 2 chances on target in a matter of 15 seconds after I say that.
Birmingham trying to build something similarly here. Dotson working against Stanley. Couldn't quite get to the byline. His cross blocked. Out of play. It'll be a Birmingham throw. Dotson lobs it back in. Perez trying to keep his footing. Couldn't. It'll be an Indy goal kick. Birmingham fans, you can stay up to date on all the latest Legion FC news by following at BHM Legion on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, or you can download the Legion FC app in the App Store or in Google Play. That's at BHM Legion on social media, and the Legion FC app, your home for all things Birmingham Legion FC. 73rd minute here in Birmingham. Blake Gardner, Morgan Copes here with you. Indy 11 in front, 1-0. Trying to keep it that way. They've threatened to add a second as well. Matt Van Oekel has turned him aside a few different times in the second half. And now Birmingham running at this Indy back line. Into Martinez out wide. Tabor Itaka couldn't quite get there in front of O'Brien, who's called into duty the first time since coming on. Birmingham back on the ball, recycling possession. Patterson back to the feet of his captain, Manuel Cavita. Kobe Hernandez Foster able to turn, looking for an option. It's a wide one in Dawson McCartney. These are the moments where head coach Tom Stone said it was all about that off-ball movement that he liked so much in El Paso last week. Tabor Utaka went up high to challenge for that pass all the way across the park. It was undercut by O'Brien, a free kick given. Hopefully Tabor Utaka is okay. He took a hard fall.
He's been involved in some physical altercations already tonight, but popping back up as you would expect. Probably just got the wind knocked out of him as Stanley comes across to go up and challenge for that ball. It just, no malintent from Stanley in that. It's just kind of one of those things you don't know the player's there and you're about to go up and he goes up before you do, and it's never fun to see that happen to anybody. But again, we talked about Indy staying very compact and setting up that low block here, especially up 1-0. 35 yards from goal, 20 yards front to back. You got to change possession quickly like that.
Martinez serves. Dealt with well. Like Aiden Stanley, who got a piece of that serve for Martinez on the free kick. Martinez serves again from a deeper position. Headed away from trouble once more. AJ Patterson brings it down for the Legion.
That was a creative ball from Martinez on that set piece. I really liked what he tried to do. Stanley did a great job defending it, but tried to get it in that space right in between the goalkeeper and the back line, which is always very, very dangerous.
Meanwhile, it looks like Birmingham are prepping a third change here in a moment. Stefano Pino has grabbed a shirt. Prosper Cassim nowhere to go in tight spaces. As we approach the final quarter hour of the night, Birmingham still searching for that first goal of the evening. Perez tried to flick it along, only found the waiting feet of Benefemu. He cleared away from trouble. Alex Crognale tried to shield it out of play, and he did. And it looks like Birmingham are going to go ahead and make that change now. Substitution brought to you by Papa John's. Birmingham fans, you can use code LEGION for 25% off your regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. It is Stefano Pino on, and it's AJ Patterson off for Birmingham. So a defender off and a forward on. And before we get play restarted, our final hydration break of the night coming. And Morgan Stefano Pino, certainly a man that Indy 11 fans know well.
Yes, he's been with them recently, and he's come to Legion, to Birmingham, and he's kind of started to settle in. He's been scoring goals, particularly in the Open Cup. I think he had 3 or 4. He had 4 in one night. And so certainly capable of scoring. Another guy who's dangerous on set pieces. So we've talked about Legion FC getting on the end of a lot of Enzo Martinez corners and set pieces. Now he's another guy who can go up and do the same thing. So I like this change from Legion FC. Tom Stone is really making the intent, or taking the intent, to get forward and try and get that goal and unlock Indy 11.
While we have our final hydration break of the night, Birmingham fans, Legion FC is back at Protective Stadium again on Wednesday, June 19th. Against San Antonio FC at 7 o'clock Central Time. Get your tickets to the match today at bhmlegion.com/tickets. If you can't make it to the match, you can watch it live on ESPN Plus or locally in Birmingham here on My 68. It's Birmingham Legion and San Antonio FC on June 19th here at Protective Stadium. 77th minute here in Birmingham on a night that so far has belonged to Indy 11. Jack Blake's goal from the penalty spot, the difference. Morgan, the question is there another game-breaking like moment still to come tonight?
Again, we talked about it, the keys to the game, right? One of them was for Legion FC, attack, attack, attack. Indy have only kept one clean sheet in USL Championship all year. So you have to like your chances going forward. You have plenty of firepower that's on the field. So, continue to get at them. You've started to settle into the second half a little bit better. The first 10 minutes or so were all Indy all the time. But now you've kind of taken control of the game. And so here's your opportunity to go in and to equal the score.
Starting to get a little bit more aggressive, sending bodies forward. Alex Crognale, the center back, forward there for a moment. Here's Perez. Kasim. So Martinez able to turn. Martinez looking for a shooting lane. Pino lays it off. Tabor Itaka, a chance, just a little wide. But it took a deflection on the way through. A sixth Chick-fil-A corner coming for Birmingham. This time it'll be Kobe Hernandez Foster to provide in-swinging service.
Lots of big bodies for Legion FC. O'Brien is new in this game, so a lot of times you got to remember who your pickup is. But you need a better service if you're Legion FC. You have to beat that first defender.
Lindley cleared it away with his head, and then Mines held it up, drew the foul. Free kick for Indy 11.
Yeah, if you're Coach McCauley, you are clapping. You are having a great time watching your team do just that. Cut out the cross, earn the foul, kill some time off the clock. Those are everything you would draw up. That is everything you would draw up if you are Coach McCauley in that situation.
Speaking of Sean McCauley and the Indy bench, they are prepping a double change here. Just a moment. Elliot Collier has grabbed a shirt. So is Tyler Gibson. Looks like they'll be coming on here momentarily. Manuel Cavita trying to shield that away from Sebastian Guenzati. Perez tried to bring down the second ball, but couldn't. Williams got there instead. Here comes Indy. Blake across the park. Mines an opportunity. Mines whistles it just wide. Ben Mines, a golden opportunity to perhaps put this game away. Just could not find the frame. Now Indy will make those changes. Tyler Gibson on, Jack Blake off. What a day for Jack Blake. His night is done. Tyler Gibson, on his third season with Indy 11, makes his 12th appearance of the year. Also coming on, Elliot Collier, the 29-year-old from New Zealand. He has been a super sub all season long for Indy. 13th appearance all off the bench, and he replaces Augie Williams.
Yeah, and he's not happy about it getting taken off either. He kind of unraveled his tape and threw it on the field in disgust. So interesting to see those changes from Indy. You've got two guys who are producing a lot of your goals this year. Jack Blake has had 8 or 9 shots tonight, which is 4 or 5 more than Augie Williams, who had the second most for them. So, interesting changes if I'm looking at it from a neutral standpoint. But
what a turn! Tabor Itaka might have been in if not for that intervention from Benafemu.
And what a tackle that was! I mean, he came in and got everything, including the kitchen sink. But
Tabor Itaka got around Chapin Page, but couldn't get through Afemu. Corner kick brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Whipped in by Martinez, punched away by Sult. Only as far as Kasim. Perez to the back post, nobody there. There'll be a goal kick for Indy as we work into the 82nd minute. I don't think we've talked about this tonight, by the way. Hunter Sult listed at 6'7".
We have not talked about that.
He is a force on those corners to get a little too close to him. As a big, big man at 22 years young.
The Alaskan's height certainly wasn't frozen. Everything else was, but not his height.
Hunter Sult from Anchorage, Alaska. Born in Alaska, but left Alaska at 13 years old to join the Portland Timbers Academy setup. Became the first Alaskan to sign an MLS homegrown contract. Down here on loan with Indy 11, he has slid in as the starting goalkeeper here for Indy over the last few weeks. This is start number 7 for him tonight.
I'm sure there's some folks that have some questions about him being a homegrown, being from Alaska, but signing a homegrown deal for Portland. I'm sure there's some Alaskan natives out there who would prefer to allow him to remain from Alaska and not be a homegrown from Portland, but I'm just taking a wild guess at that.
Dodson, first touch, his pass picked off. Collier trying to turn, couldn't turn with possession, but got it back, and now he's in open space. 1v1 against Cavita as he pushes forward. Collier shot punched away by Van Oekel. It'll be an Indy 11 corner. Elliot Collier not too far from putting this game on ice. Elliot Collier right off the bench and into the action, forced a save from Matt Van Oekel. Time continues to tick away from the Legion as Indy, of course, in no hurry to put this back in play. Elliot Collier, by the way, in case you were wondering, 6'4". Another big body on the field right now for Indy. And before they serve in this corner, Collier is all over the goal line and locked up with Kavita and near Matt Van Oekel.
Those are two really big boys.
Collier right now in the mouth of goal as you look at our camera there. Here comes the serve. It's low and driven, and before that there was a foul anyways. So, free kick for the Legion. We're going to be a little bit quicker about getting this back in play. Time on the side right now of Indy 11. 84th minute here in Birmingham. Can the Legion find their way through this Indy defense that has done the job so far tonight? Dawson McCartney working forward. Mines out there to greet him. And as Foster, the big switch across the park. Dotson brings it down. So Martinez trying to facilitate. Martinez trying to get around Wooden. Usher directly to Stanley. First time serve for Dotson, dealt with. Josh O'Brien got ahead to it. Now Collier on the run. Matt Van Oekel well off his line, collides with Collier. And a decision here for the referee. And in the end, there is no decision. She lets play continue. Over the top, Tabor Itaka couldn't quite get there in front of Solt, who went full extension to keep that away from the Birmingham forward. Meanwhile, Collier remains down. And Mines ushers it out of play so Collier can get medical attention. Bit of controversy there. Indy 11 wanted at the very least a foul here, if not a red card for denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity.
That's a tough one in any situation for both the goalkeeper and for Collier, right? He's got every right to that, but he doesn't get a touch on that ball. And so you have to ask the question, like, he doesn't get a touch here. He goes around it to leave it. And so let's be honest, let's call a spade a spade. That was a train wreck.
Those are two big boys colliding. Matt Van Oekel even still kind of shaking his head a little bit. Elliot Collier a little bit slow to get up, but he is up on his feet and working his way over to the touchline for a moment. So Birmingham survive a dangerous moment there. A big decision from Natalie Simon. To think if Collier gets a piece of the ball, tries to touch it around Van Oekel, and then gets that contact, it's a different story.
I 100% agree. If Collier gets a touch on that ball and it gets around Van Oekel in that fashion, then it's 100%. It's a red card. He's off. But Collier doesn't get a touch. Van Oekel has the right to play that ball, right? And he stood his ground, and Collier came through him. So a tough way to look at it either way. If you're an Indy fan, you're absolutely irate that you don't get a red card and a free kick in that situation. But you're Legion FC, you're looking at it and you're saying, well, I mean, he didn't touch it around the goalkeeper and kind of stood his ground. So it's a tough one. I think a no call at the end of the day in that situation was the right one by the referee, but would not want to be in her shoes trying to make that decision in real time.
Natalie Simon has been really, really good tonight for what it's worth. 88th minute here. Collier trying to play it down the flank. Tyler Gibson on the run is going to get there. Now the question, will he turn towards goal or turn towards the corner flag? It's Indy trying to bleed this game away into the 88th minute. You can see Sean McCauley telling his guys to slow down. It has been a long, warm night here in Birmingham, and Indy 11 done the job to this point. Now one goal will have to be enough. That gets played over the end line. A goal kick for Matt Van Oekel and the Legion. Here in the 88th minute, you got to imagine we're set for good 4, maybe 5 minutes of stoppage time. Tabor Itaka trying to get around Stanley, does so. Racing down the sideline is Tabor Itaka. Got the serve to the back post. It's back across the mouth of goal, and Solt comes to collect it. Stefano Pino got ahead to it, but couldn't redirect it goalwards.
It's actually the first time Pino has touched the ball tonight. Again, but this is why he was brought on, to get into the box, to get on the end of things. And look, if you're Legion FC, he comes straight through the back of it. So you're probably looking at yourself and asking, hey, we had a penalty shout in that instance. But again, I would not want to be in the referee's shoes making that call in real time.
Collier over here in the corner, working with Gibson. Was he offside? Yes. Flag does go up. So a free kick coming here for the Legion as we enter the 90th minute tonight. More defending to do here for Indy. Defended admirably to this point. It's up to get that. Pino brings it down. Possession in this part of the park has not been the issue for Birmingham. It's been trying to find the way through this organized Indy back line.
That's a great credit to Indy and how they've defended tonight and stayed organized, and Coach McCauley. And there's still plenty of time left. I would expect there to be 5 to 7 minutes of stoppage time. Chance here for Legion FC.
Solt off his line to get it. Stefano Pino was making the run behind the defense. Solt looking for his second clean sheet as a member of Indy 11. So far he's made it through 90 minutes. Now the question is, how many more minutes of stoppage time are we going to get? The answer is 6. 6 minutes of stoppage time brought to you by UAB Medicine, coming to close the night. Gibson trying to head that along, headed it out of play. It'll be a throw for Birmingham. Indy 11 trying to hang on for a little less than a half dozen more minutes.
You've got to push the issue now if you're Legion FC. You've got to find a way to get forward. Getting this guy the ball is not a bad place to start. He gives it away. I feel like the Matrix is out to get me tonight. That's the third time I've tried to say something nice about someone and it go wrong. If you're called here right there, you're certainly wondering what it's going to take for you to get a foul. But again, we're a minute through the 6th.
Perez under pressure, has to give it up. Crognale working with Kobe Hernandez-Foster as Birmingham throw almost everybody forward. Everybody except Matt Van Okel, the goalkeeper, within about 45 yards of goal. And a black shirt. Hernandez-Foster on the turn into Martinez, top of the box. Martinez to the penalty spot, just a little bit too far in front of Pino.
Now the referee is taking time to come over to speak to the Indy bench, and we're already 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds into the stoppage time, but
the yellow card has been shown to somebody on the Indy bench. Yellow card brought to you by Rubio Law Firm. And I believe that is our first yellow card of the night. And it is. Took us all the way to stoppage time. Again, credit to Natalie Simon. She has kept things moving tonight.
Ms. Simon's been put in a lot of tough positions, and I think she's handled it well. There's no surprises that she's in the position that she's in tonight. I think she's had a good game.
And Okel collects. Kavita on the move again. As Birmingham continue to throw bodies forward. 2 minutes and 20 seconds into our minimum of 6. Perez touches it out wide. Tabor Itaka to Alex Crognale's feet. Kobe Hernandez-Foster. Wide the other side. Dawson McCartney a little bit of space. Closed down quickly by Mines. And as Foster a serve, dealt with by Ofemu all the way back out to the midway stripe. Forced to recycle possession again. Jack Blake was excellent tonight. Sebastian Guenzati, Augie Williams had their moments as well, but got to get a lot of credit to this Indy 11 defense and what they have done to this point. Birmingham Legion scored 3 last time out on the road against El Paso. Been kept off the board to this point. Here comes Lawrence Wotton. He's got Collier running rhythm. Collier pushing forward. Collier looking for a second. He shoots. He's denied. Matt Van Okel, another big-time stop, keeps this at a 1-goal game.
And now Indy's a little stretched, so a great chance for for Legion FC to get forward. And they've got to get the ball. They have to penetrate. They can't go side to side in that instance. Now Indy has 9 out of their 10 field players back. They're 15 yards front to back on top of their 18. It's impossible to break that down unless you're Barcelona with Iniesta, Xavi, Messi, those type of players. So you have to go wide and whip balls in. But you're running out of time to do that if you're Legion FC.
4 minutes into our minimum of 6. McCartney, Hernandez, Foster, edge of the area. Looking for Perez. Doesn't like what he sees in front of him.
Ball needs to get into the box.
Birmingham trying to find a way into a very crowded 18. Perez has a wide option, uses it. Hernandez Foster, a driven serve over the top of its intended target and headed away. Tabor Utaka runs it down. Tabor Utaka into the area, left-footed shot off the bar. The rebound dealt with, cleared away by Lindley, only as far as Hernandez Foster, who whips in another serve. Collision. Again, Indy 11's defense does just enough, and a stoppage here for a potential head injury. It's going to bring some boos, but Aiden Stanley is down holding the back of his head. That was a wicked collision. He and Derek Dodson colliding in midair. Pardon me, that's Colin Chapman-Page who holding the back of his head and now is up. But what a look here from Tabor Utaka. Just off the underside of the bar.
I mean, we talked about him coming on and his pace and his ability to potentially change the game a little bit. He has done that for Legion FC and provided that spark, but still not enough to unlock Indy 11, and it looks like they are headed for their second clean sheet of the season against Legion FC tonight.
So Chapman-Page off for a moment, now being waved back on. Birmingham with possession back as we play here in the 96th minute. What could be the last Legion attack of the night. Tabor Utaka to the byline, trying to go for goal. It was much too strong over the top. And we'll see if that is the last gasp for the Legion here tonight. We've played our 6. There have been a few stoppages mixed in there between a yellow card, stoppage for a potential head injury. Solt puts it down. The 11 goalkeeper sends it away. No final whistle just yet, and that's out of play. It'll be a Birmingham throw. Birmingham getting no favors from the Indy bench as they try to collect the ball and get it back into play.
We look back, she had to run all the way over to give a card to the Indy 11 bench, which may be leading to this last opportunity for Legion FC, but I think that will probably do it.
Kavita collides, the free kick given to Indy, and that is full time. Indy 11 streak continues. 11 straight unbeaten, 7 wins in a row. Indiana's team does the job tonight here in the Deep South. They are 1-0 winners over Birmingham Legion. It wasn't always pretty. It was gritty. It was physical. See Matt Van Okel limping off to the Birmingham bench. He made some big-time stops tonight for the Legion. Kept his team in this contest. But in the end, Indy does enough to come away with 3 more points. Sean McCauley's club continues their excellent run of form here over the past couple of months. Final score once again, Indy 11-1, Birmingham Legion 0. Take a timeout, wrap it up when we return.
What's up, everybody? I'm Deontay. A little thing I love about Chick-fil-A Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is the flavor it provides. It's seasoned to perfection. It's juicy every time. The pepper jack, it melts on top, and it gives it that little kick. Along with the zest from the chicken, it's memorable when you bite into it. Just thinking about how it's stacked up, that's what I look forward to every time. This Spicy Deluxe is fire.
Real customer paid for their testimonial.
And those that see the perfect wave.
Back here at Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. What a fun night of soccer here in Birmingham. Final score, Indy 11-1, Birmingham Legion 0. Two Eastern Conference playoff hopefuls played what was an entertaining contest tonight. 21 shots from Indy 11, 9 of those on target. Matt Van Oekel made some big-time saves that kept Birmingham Legion in this game in the second half. But in the end, Morgan, Indy 11's back line did the job. They stayed organized, and Birmingham couldn't pierce it.
Yeah, I think you have to tip your hat off to Salt. He made a couple of really big saves, one in the first half, another in the second. And then Chapman Page was huge tonight for Indy. I think he is certainly a great shout for a man of the match. Blake is going to have his say with the goal, but I think Chapman Page entrance into this team really made a difference for them tonight.
Indy 11 do the job. They pick up their clean sheet. They win their 7th in a row, and now they go back home for 2 more against San Antonio and Orange County. And Morgan, you know this Indy 11 team has got to be feeling good, knowing they've got home games coming up to keep this winning streak going.
Certainly, and there's a lot going on in Indianapolis in the soccer world, and so for the Brickyard Battalion and the 11 to get the opportunity to rally behind their boys and have them on such a great streak is certainly a good thing for Indy 11.
Meanwhile, for Birmingham Legion FC, a tough result tonight, but they're back home here in 10 days. They get a little bit of a breather. They take on San Antonio FC, and Morgan, that's going to be a game Birmingham has circled to try to get back on the right track again.
Absolutely. It's going to be a tough one because San Antonio is a good team. Juan Agudelo is going to be coming back into town, so he'll be very familiar with this part of the country and Legion FC. So certainly an interesting matchup for Legion FC.
San Antonio, and then a trip to Detroit before coming back home to take on Louisville City. That is what is on tap for Birmingham. Fans on the field here at Protective Stadium, as is customary, but coming up on this turf, Legion FC's 2 team gets back in action. A game that is scheduled to kick off at 8:30 Central Time. Continues a busy weekend here at Protective Stadium. But Indy 11, for the first time since May of 2021, come away from Birmingham with all 3 points. What a job by Sean McCauley and his group, who have been one of the best, if not the best team in the USL Championship here over the past couple of months. 7 wins in a row with a 1-0 victory here this evening. Thanks for watching our coverage of the USL Championship tonight, or listening to our coverage of the USL Championship on Sirius XM FC 157. It was an entertaining contest, fairly even in the first half, until Indy 11 slotted home a penalty from Jack Blake, who scored his 8th goal of the year. That gave Indy an advantage 34 minutes in that the visitors would not relinquish. The Legion knocked on the door. They had a couple of opportunities. And late, Tabor Itaka Preston hit the underside of the bar. But in the end, Hunter Solt and Indy 11 walk away with a clean sheet, another 3-point performance. And and it'll be a happy trip back to Indiana for Indy 11. 1-0 once again our final score for Morgan Copes and our entire crew. I'm Blake Gardner saying thanks for watching our coverage of the USL Championship here in Birmingham, Alabama, and have a great rest of your weekend.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.